I think the best thing about following my career is that I've been real. You've shared my ups and downs, and you've seen my struggles, and I think people can appreciate that.
And how about that front kick from Swanson? Pearson's hurt, and that's gonna do it.
So my fight with Ross Pearson, that one was a very defining moment for me of understanding how I mentally approach fights. I remember him dropping from 155 to 45, so knowing that he was a bigger fighter, I thought he thinks he's going to come down to 145 and bully people. So I wanted to be fast. I wanted to move and frustrate him and kind of make him feel slow. At the very end of the fight, I was throwing a lot of unorthodox things, and he ended up having my foot in the air. I was peppering him with some punches, which I knew pissed him off. And earlier than that, I dropped him in the first round, but I stepped on his foot when I hit him, so I knew that I didn't hurt him, and everybody was like, why didn't you follow up? But it's like, I took the opportunity to kind of stand over him and poke at his ego. You know, I wanted him to be angry because I knew he would make mistakes. So at the very end of the fight, when he came at me, he dipped his head down, and he looked like he wanted to do a flying knee, and I caught him with a check hook, and that was the only reason why I dropped him, was because he looked away for a second.
Cub Swanson has done it!
So I knew my best chance of winning was to get in his head, make him start fighting, not smart, but just kind of like an ogre. You know, it worked out my way, and I've been able to, you know, kind of explain that to fighters that I mentor over the years of a perfect example of how you can break somebody down little by little. I was playing a NBA Live, I believe, and I made a player and got drafted to Toronto because I was going to go fight in Toronto. And every time they threw the ball up, they went up, and I remember seeing the leaf on the Toronto scoreboard in the dead center. And I remember right when me and Charles were about to fight, and I was kind of just trying to stay loose and tell myself to stay calm, I looked up and I saw the exact same thing that I saw in the video game, and I was like, oh crap, I'm here. And it just kind of was like a reminder of like how far I've come. I think I took the fight like 6 or 7 weeks, which is a little shorter than I like, but I had been training. But I was pretty chubby at the time, and I literally was at a concert with Clay Guida. I had just eaten 2 bacon wrap hot dogs, and then we went to In-N-Out, and I had In-N-Out and a shake. And then I remember getting back and just having a stomach ache, and I got this random text in the middle of the night, and Sean Shelby's like, "You're fighting Charles Oliveira in 7 weeks," and I was like, I wanted to go throw up.
Cub Swanson and Charles Oliveira.
I hit him twice to the body, and I knew he really didn't like it. So the last one, I had been working on this move where I kind of double pump, and it's very hard. You kind of got to be athletic to be able to do it. But I threw the punch, and then I re-threw the punch with just like an arm pump, and I went over his defense and hit him right in the temple.
Over the top. And he's hurt.
Yeah, he's done.
And it is all over.
He's done.
Cub Swanson by knockout.
When he hit the ground, I was almost in shock. When they're announcing my name, I'm just sitting there kind of blank staring. And I remember realizing there's a camera on me, and they're about to raise my hand, and I was telling myself, hey, smile, stupid, like you just won. And going, I have this weird smile. So that was pretty crazy. So the Dennis Seaver fight was pretty crazy because it was the first time I had gone back to Las Vegas after mostly fighting in Las Vegas with the WEC. I traveled around a bit, and I was on the huge card, and I was on the main card. He took me down, and he was holding me, and I just remember him in my ear, just and I was like, wow, he's breathing really heavy for the first round. So I was like, okay, he's gonna gas out. My coaches always talked about it. If you watch a lot of my older fights, my shoulders are like this, and then when my shoulders drop and I kind of relax, it's like it's over. It means I've dialed them in. I know their timing. I'm confident, and I'm about to take them out.
Swanson all over him. Cub Swanson looking to finish. It is all over. Beautiful.
When I knocked him out, I remember putting up my hands, and the crowd was just crazy. And I remember like kind of panning the crowd, And the craziest thing of my career happened at that point is two of my childhood idols, Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr., they were both sitting front row, standing and clapping. And I remember just looking around and seeing them going, holy shit, like I'm on the other end, you know, and that blew my mind. This fight is important to people because it's dramatic. You know, it had a storyline, a young up-and-comer against a veteran. They were hyping this guy up to be the next big thing. He had knocked everybody out in the first round, and I wasn't gonna let that happen. The first thing I did was kick his lead leg because he had a really wide stance. So I said, okay, he relies on that wide stance. If we kick his leg and narrow his stance, he's not gonna have the power that he wants. At the very end, I was shocked that he was still going and still fighting, but I knew that I was winning the fight and that I wanted to finish so bad, and I just kept pushing, and I started throwing everything in the kitchen sink, and he just took it all, man.
Cub Swanson's teeing off on this kid.
I gained so much respect for him. Yeah, it just made for a legendary fight.
Absolutely amazing fight. Unlike anything maybe we've ever seen. That's a fight of the year candidate, folks.
Once I got home and got back to my hotel and all that, and my friends and family said, you know, awesome fight, blah, blah, blah. My wife finally had her alone time with me and told me that we were gonna have our first child. That's another reason why it's my favorite fight. Greatest night of my life.
Cub Swanson and Pearson.
You know, we had a little bit of a beef before, and I didn't appreciate how he tried to stick his hand in my face at weigh-ins. And, you know, I wasn't trying to badmouth him in a sense. I have tons of respect for his family, and it was an honor to fight him that night. And I think the biggest surprise in the Crone fight was his ability to take the body punishment, and it really made me a believer in their breathing techniques. So his ability to absorb those shots and come forward, I was surprised that he was standing with me, but I thought that I was doing a good job of not giving him much, but I still thought he would have tried harder to take me down.
Final seconds here, a phenomenal display for these two featherweights.
There was a great moment for me, especially with all the pressure of having lost 4 in a row and wondering, you know, am I going to be cut? So there was a lot of pressure on me, and I went out there and did my thing, and I was proud of that. But yeah, leading up to Daniel Pineda, you know, once again, Sean called me and said, this is the guy we want you to fight. This is a tough guy to come back from an ACL injury and kind of test the waters. Am I 100%? This isn't an easy fight. You know, he's dangerous everywhere, and he's gritty. A lot of people don't know in the fight, I broke my hand in the first round, and so being able to knock him out with the same hand that was broken was, I felt pretty smooth. It's difficult. It's difficult to do.
Oh, that's it. You got him. Cub Swanson.
He dropped pretty clean, so I thought the fight was over. I noticed, you know, my peripheral vision that he wasn't stopping the fight. He kind of was like, come on, and I had to hit him one last time, and that really hurt. The punches that I hit him with to set him down, they were clean, they didn't hurt, but that last shot on the ground, it hurt him and it hurt me because my hand was broken. And when I you know, let out that roar, it was half emotion and half pain. I just remember walking around like wanting to tell everyone F off, you know, like I was reminding people that I'm a bad man, you know, and I was really getting sick of people doubting me. You know, my favorite thing about that fight is my cornerman and longtime manager gave me a hug after the fight.
And you see the emotion spilling out of the father of 3, Cub Swanson.
And that's, you know, one of my favorite moments of my career.